sale of the year going on right now at Harris Ace Hardware. Buy 1 gallon of Clark and Kensington paint and get one free. That's right, buy a gallon, get another one free. Don't delay, head on down to Harris Ace Hardware today because this incredible offer ends Monday, March 25th. Buy 1 gallon of paint and get one free now at Harris Ace Hardware on West Cherry Street in Jesup. And check out the red hot buys for March. You're going to save big.
It's time now for a look at the latest on local sports and sports. The Wayne County High School baseball team won the key game in this series with Statesboro Friday night at Howard Bell Warren Field in front of a good crowd. Final score 3-2 behind a one-hit performance on the mound by junior pitcher Jasper Stanfield. At one point, Jasper retired 14 Statesboro batters in a row. Struck out 6, walked only 2. J.C. Williams with the key 2-run single in the second. All the runs scored in the second inning. Statesboro jumped out to an early 2-0 lead in the top of the second, but Wayne County answered with 3 in the bottom half of the second and win the ball game by a final of 3-2 with this series, or they win the series as well, 2-1. After the game, we talked with head coach Justin McDonald.
Quick, Jasper Stanfield, lights out performance. Can't say enough about the performance he gave you on the mound.
Yeah, when he pitches, you don't have to do much offensively. You just play defense and let him work. And again, we took advantage of some stuff we saw base running in that inning and put pressure on them, and that's what our offense is created to do. Just unfortunately couldn't do it enough, or couldn't do it but one inning during this game. But we can have 3 hits and win 3-2 the rest of the year, and I'll be a happy guy. So,
like I said, they say all the time, it's better to win pretty than lose ugly. So,
yeah.
Or vice versa. I don't know how, but I just know a win's a win.
That's right.
Any way you can get it, but to win this series, that's the big thing. You had to have it. Wayne County came out focused. Jasper came out focused. This were 3 good ball games. I mean, if you like just good baseball, 1-0 game in 8 innings, a 5-1 game in Statesboro, and here 3-2. So, but we got the win, got the series. So we'll go to Waycross next week. They lost their series to South Effingham. South Effingham won 2 games. Don't know how the third game turned out tonight, but I'm sure South Effingham won that as well. I think Ware's really struggling. I think the last time I saw them, they were like 4-14 on the season. So should get those wins and then get ready for the New Hampstead South Effingham series. Don't want to overlook anybody, but you got to feel good about the series coming up. Like I said, maybe that'll get the bats going as well.
Right. This was a big series. This team that we faced for 3 straight games is a very good team, and they're going to surprise people in the playoffs. And that they have a great pitching staff. Every one of those guys was there last year, and they all come back. And that is a totally different team. If you remember what they were last year and what they are now, Coach Simmons has done a great job turning it around. And coming in, that was kind of I know the region championship for the last 3, 4, 5 years has come through here, but looking from our vantage point, the team that you got to look up for was them, and having to draw them first and not getting to see how they kind of match up against other teams in the region. That's how it laid out. But again, give our guys credit. That right there that's a Wayne County win right there, and just proud of those guys and the way they competed. And J.C. Williams, what can you say? He rolled right off the basketball court, come right in, practice, got his feet wet, and then got in there, and he hadn't let up. And we hope he can continue to do that. And then the guys that have shown us they can do stuff offensively over the last 2 years, they're going to come around. And, as it's a work in progress. And, when it clicks, it clicks. And I can assure you it's going to click. And when it is, it's going to be special to watch. But also the crowd tonight was awesome. That's what it's got to be every home game from here on out, because every single one's important because they're region games. And, win 2 out of 3 every week. Then we got that one by our name. We get to host a lot in the playoffs, and that's the plan.
Well, J.C. Williams got something we haven't seen in a lot of. That's a 2-out hit. A clutch 2-out single, drove in 2. Then we got the third run on the infield error. But we went in 3-2 again. Hats off to your team. Came out focused, got the series win. Now get ready for the Ware County Gators next week. So, as I tell you all the time, a win on Friday nights makes my weekend a lot better than it was if we lost. So it was a happy weekend. So looking forward to it.
That's right. And I want to get Gann up here. He's one of our leaders in our locker room and been sitting back and kind of watching stuff. And he is a vocal guy out there, and the guys respond to him, and
And again, those comments of Coach Justin McDonald after the win on Friday. With the win, the Jackets improved to 10 wins and 9 losses on the season. They're 2-1 in region play. Other region action this past week, South Effingham swept Ware County with wins by scores of 7-4, 2-0, 9-5. So the region standings at the moment, South Effingham's on top at 3-0, Wayne's at 2-1, Statesboro's at 1-2, Ware County 0-3. New Hampstead set to play their first region games this week. This week for Wayne County, again, it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday series. Today's game and Friday's games over in Waycross at Ware County High School. 6 o'clock game time. The Wednesday's games at home at Howard Bell Warren Field. Again, all games at 6 o'clock. Our pregame today at 5:50. First pitch at 6 p.m. from Waycross. JV team back in action Tuesday on the road. They take on Jeff Davis. The Wayne County Recreation Department is sponsoring a summer recreation Basketball League. The registration runs through May 10th. The fee is $20 with a late fee of $15 after that date. Teams are being formed for youth 7 years old through 14 years of age. The age control date is September 1. Rec office located 244 Peachtree Street. If you need more information, call the Recreation Department at 427-5915. Varsity soccer matches. Next match set for this Friday when they host Ware County. This past Friday they were in Long County to take on the Blue Tide. Varsity girls win 2-1. Maddie Withrow scored the first goal for the Jackets. Presley Moore the winning goal. Varsity boys lost a tough 2-1 game to Long County. Matthew Vanderveen had the lone goal for Wayne County. And the soccer team's off until Friday when they host Ware County on the 29th of March. Georgia Tech community mourning the loss of 21-year-old defensive lineman Brandon Adams, who police state collapsed at a home near campus, was taken to Emory Hospital by friends where he later died. Cause of death unknown. The GBI conducting an autopsy today to determine the cause of death. Statements from the Georgia Athletic Department says they lost an unbelievable kid today. Cannot put into words what his loss means. Adams was expected to play a significant role on this year's team. He played in 33 games over 3 seasons. He had his best year last year with 24 tackles, 5 for losses, and 2 forced fumbles. His former coach, Paul Johnson, says he and his wife, Susan, were crushed by the news. Johnson says Adams was without a doubt one of the finest persons he had the opportunity to coach and know. He was a talented young man. Says he'll definitely be missed. Again, thoughts and prayers going out to his family. But again, the autopsy being performed today to find out the cause of death. 21-year-old defensive lineman Brandon Adams. NCAA March Madness down to Sweet 16. Some great matchups set for this Thursday and Friday. In the East, it'll be Duke, who survived a scare from UCF, but win by 1. They will now take on Virginia Tech. Other matchup in the East is LSU and Michigan State. Out West, it's number 1 seed Gonzaga against the Seminoles of FSU, and Michigan against Texas Tech. In the South, Virginia meets the Oregon Ducks, and Tennessee meets Purdue. In the Midwest, it's North Carolina and Auburn, and Houston and Kentucky. Again, my bracket still has 10 of 16 teams left. Can get 7 of the Elite 8. Still my Final 4 intact. Again, I've got ACC teams, Duke, Carolina, Virginia, all advancing, along with Michigan. I've got Duke over in Michigan, North Carolina over Virginia, a Duke, North Carolina final with Duke winning it all. Almost blew up on Sunday afternoon. How that tip in by Dawkins didn't fall is still a mystery. So close, but again, as they say, close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and slow dancing. Action picks up Thursday through Sunday. Final 4 headed to Minneapolis for the semifinals on April 6th. Championship game Monday, April 8th. We'll have both the semifinals and the championship game right here on Big Dog Country, FM 105.5. That's going to do it for latest in local sports. Sports is brought to you each and every day this time by friends at Harris Ace Hardware.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit hospice